Ilia Topuria slams Arman Tsarukyan as man-child ahead of UFC Freedom 250. UFC lightweight champion Ilia Topuria launched a sharp verbal assault against contender Arman Tsarukyan on May 20, 2026, ahead of the UFC Freedom 250 event. Speaking during the lead-up to his title defense against Justin Gaethje, the champion dismissed Arman Tsarukyan as a man-child and a loser, casting doubt on his rival's personal maturity and financial status. The comments were made in the context of the upcoming UFC Freedom 250 event, which will take place at the White House in Washington, D.C. The champion's latest remarks have fueled a rivalry that has been escalating for months. Ilia Topuria specifically criticized Arman Tsarukyan for playing the rich guy game, claiming that the contender's wealth is overstated. By taking aim at Tsarukyan's character while the latter serves as the official backup fighter for the main event, Topuria has ensured that tensions remain at a boiling point before the first bell rings in the capital. Psychological warfare is common in high-stakes combat sports, often mirroring the friction seen when Shakram Gyasov reached a breaking point over perceived ducking and inactivity from his divisional rivals. While Topuria appears focused on his direct opponent, his constant focus on Tsarukyan suggests he is keeping a close eye on the man who could technically step into the cage at a moment's notice. Ilia Topuria questions Arman Tsarukyan's wealth and maturity during his media address. Ilia Topuria challenged the authenticity of Arman Tsarukyan's public persona. He went on to describe Tsarukyan as a man-child who is pretending to be wealthy without the assets to back it up. He has the mind of a little kid, the champion stated. Topuria claimed he knows many truly affluent people and argued that none of them behave in the manner Tsarukyan does online. The champion further belittled Arman Tsarukyan's business activities, claiming he is reselling cars in Russia rather than managing a legitimate empire. "He's like a loser," Topuria said. "He's like buying a car and sending it to Russia and reselling it." This personal attack moves the feud beyond athletic competition and into a debate over social status and integrity. Public confrontations like this often lead to significant fallout within the promotion. We have seen similar instances of verbal hostility turning into long-term professional hurdles, much like the way Clarissa Shields issued a statement after a highly publicized physical clash with her own rivals. For Topuria, the goal appears to be devaluing Tsarukyan's standing before they ever reach a contracted bout. Arman Tsarukyan links insults to champion jealousy. Arman Tsarukyan was quick to offer a rebuttal, dismissing the champion's comments as a sign of insecurity. The contender argued that Ilia Topuria is jealous and is attempting to convince the public that Tsarukyan is not on his level. He noted that while Topuria gives credit to veterans like Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje, he refuses to acknowledge Tsarukyan as a legitimate threat. The backup fighter called the champion's refusal to mention him as a Topuria joke. Tsarukyan maintains that if the UFC offered the champion a fight against him, Topuria would find a way to avoid it. This back-and-forth highlights the complicated relationship between a reigning champion and a surging challenger who is officially waiting in the wings. The stakes for the lightweight division are currently through the roof as the promotion settles into 2026. The high-profile nature of this event, held in a venue as prestigious as the White House, ensures that every word carries additional weight. Even if the Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua confirmed 2026 clash currently dominates the heavyweight headlines, the drama in the UFC lightweight ranks is providing its own brand of chaos. Escalating tension before UFC Freedom 250 main event. The rivalry between these two has been building for a long time. Back in November 2025, Ilia Topuria took to social media to claim that Arman Tsarukyan freezes up like a scared duck whenever they meet in person. This recurring narrative of intimidation is a central tool in the champion's attempt to rattle the man who is shadowing his current training camp. As the backup fighter, Arman Tsarukyan must be ready to step in should either Ilia Topuria or Justin Gaethje be unable to compete. This creates a unique atmosphere where the champion and his stalker are in close proximity throughout the entire fight week. The tension is expected to remain high until the UFC Freedom 250 main event concludes in Washington, D.C. Frequently asked questions: why did Ilia Topuria call Arman Tsarukyan a man-child? Ilia Topuria used the term to criticize Arman Tsarukyan's maturity and financial claims. The champion argued that Tsarukyan acts with the mind of a little kid and is pretending to be a wealthy individual while actually reselling cars to make a living, which Topuria described as behavior typical of a loser. What is Arman Tsarukyan's role at UFC Freedom 250? Arman Tsarukyan is serving as the official backup fighter for the main event match between Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje. This requires him to undergo a full training camp and make the 155-pound weight limit so he can replace either fighter if they are forced to withdraw from the competition. How has Arman Tsarukyan responded to the champion's recent claims? Arman Tsarukyan dismissed the insults, alleging they are fueled by Ilia Topuria's jealousy. He believes the champion is trying to devalue his standing in the division to avoid a fight, noting that Topuria acknowledges other top fighters but refuses to give him the same level of respect.